Which, hey, I don't blame you. Nice to go to Hawaii in December.
Yeah.
One day even I'll be able to do that.
Mick, I saw you last night at Sierra Canyon. I just wanted to ask, like, what it was like catching up with Kenyon and kind of hanging
It's
out.
always great to see my man. I coached Kenyon all 4 years.
Right.
So, a lot of one-on-one time in the gym. You know, most competitive, tough guy I've ever coached. And probably what people don't know about Kenyon is one of the smartest basketball players. Unbelievable aptitude. So, just got to get him out of the valley. I'm trying to get him down here to talk to my team.
And then just one quick follow-up. Just in regards to kind of recruiting in Southern California, I've just seen you in so many gyms. I don't know, just comparably, you know, just how much talent is out there when you can sit in one place and watch. Maybe you're watching one guy, but there's so many other guys out there too.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it different?
Yeah, but the thing about recruiting is it's become such a longer process. You know, you got to go see kids that are freshmen and sophomores.
Okay.
You know, so, but it's always good to be able to get in your car and recruit.
Okay.
It's a great thing.
Okay. So is this
A lot easier than getting on planes.
Oh.
Because for the head coach, in-season recruiting is really hard if you got to get on a plane to do it.
Okay.
You know, you got practice, you got games, I got media sessions. So but it's great to be able to get in your car and recruit. It's the best thing ever. Coach Allen and I talk about it all the time. He used to brag to me about it when he was here. You know, so it's nice. The more players in Southern California, the better.
What was it like having him out at the game on Sunday?
Oh, seeing Coach Allen? Oh, it's great. So, something we wanted to get done. You know, when I knew he was retiring, I knew he was coming to that house in Santa Barbara. So, you know, honoring our past is something UCLA is great at. And, you know, we got somebody that loves the school, had an unbelievable run as the coach, 3 Final Fours. It's great to have him here. You know, that ovation was, you know, I wish I could have stood up, but the game was close, so I was coaching in the timeout. So I wish I could have got out, but you know, hopefully it was. You know, so I could tell talking to him after he really appreciated it. He really appreciated it. So just got him our practice schedule, so I'll see him over the holidays.
Where do you stand on the Final Four, hanging Final Four banners or something like that, you know, as opposed to the just national title banners?
Well, the problem in our arena is there's not enough room. You know, I would say, you know, that's, you know, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. You know, I think there's different eras. There was a time there was 16 teams made the tournament. You know, in the era of 68 teams, it's really hard to make the Final Four. But I'm not advocating for change. You know, I try to worry about things that matter. You know, to me, that's neither here nor there. I think the hardest thing here, the toughest thing here, is there's probably way more. I know for a fact that there's guys that their jerseys aren't retired here. That if they had the careers they had at other schools, they would be one of the top 3 jerseys retired. You know, so, you know, for a guy like Don McLean, you know, that's tough. You're an all-time leading scorer in the Pac-12 and an all-time leading scorer at the school to not have your jersey retired. Like, to me, that's a big issue. You know, Mike Warren's a good buddy of mine. If you look at his All-American stuff, his stats, like, and I'm sure, you know, there's 25, 30 other guys that if they had their same career at other schools, their jersey, but we wouldn't have any numbers. That doesn't make it right, though. You know, so I know at Louisville they had retired jerseys and then honored jerseys. Yeah, that way somebody could wear the number. And that'd be the only way to do it here. You have to have enough numbers.
Small sample size, just 9 games, but how would you kind of assess Tiger's new role that you wanted him to move into?
I think he's still evolving in it, you know, and it's not just him, it's me as well, because I want him to, you know, be more aggressive this year. And in doing, it's a new thing for him, so, you know, figuring out his shot selection is probably the biggest thing for him. So there's growing pains when you go from a guy who's really just, you know, running a team to a guy that's that's one of the best scorers on the team. And he's got the ball a lot, so there's a balance that goes with it. And I think he's learning, and I'm learning as well to help him with it. Because what we do, it's easy for him in transition, but play calls at times. At times I probably, like I said against Oregon, I asked him to do too much in the first half with Jaime out. I should have done things to make sure we had more ball movement. And it wasn't him, it was me calling his number and putting a lot of pressure on him. So, like I said, it's a process for both of us.
What are the priorities? Just looking at his stats, I mean, his scoring's up, shooting percentage is down a little bit, but the one that stood out to me was his turnovers are up quite a bit, 2.2 per game versus 1.3 last season.
Yeah, just that it all goes to me asking him to do more, be more aggressive. I would say the biggest, he's had a few late game turnovers, a travel the other day, an errant pass, an ill-advised pass against Stanford. Those are things he knows better than that. I'd be shocked if that happens the rest of the year. I think the shooting percentage will go up. It's just all part of him getting comfortable in his new role and me helping him with that.
What can you do to help him?
Again, transition's easy. Just helping him with his decision making. With guys that can really shoot, for instance, he and David. You can really shoot and you make a high percentage when you're open and your feet are set. It's really hard to make it when you're half open and you're rushing it. So just because you're a really good shooter, you're not going to be if you're rushing it and your feet aren't set. Shot selection is the most important thing on offense, because you never get to the great shot if you take the half open shot. You never get to the foul if you take the first one you can get off. To be a high percentage team, which we're much better at it, this is the best we've been at it, is because we have more ball movement and have more passing. But again, I'm asking the guy to be aggressive. So it's learning that, just don't, instead of taking the real hard one or hunting the hard one, just make sure you never pass up an open one. But it's a process.
What about Will McClendon, Coach? Will we see more of him on Saturday?
Oh yeah, just try to get him out there for a little bit, get his feet wet. He's got a whole week here to get there, but it's going to be a process for Will. I mean, the thing for Will, you got to factor this in, and the same for Mac. Talking about that, Mac came here early and got to play a little bit. Bishop Gorman had no season.
Right.
So Will hasn't played organized basketball for over 2 years. That's tough.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun either.
No, but my opinion of Will as a player is extremely high. The career I think he's going to have here, I'm very confident in. But again, I caution people. I mean, you get put the uniform on and go running out there with officials, and you haven't done it over 2 years. You go from COVID canceled high school season to an ACL. The guy hasn't played since his junior year, so it's like 2.5 years since he's been in a real game.
So is that kind of process more a priority than where he fits in with the team on certain, like, for you?
Just getting him comfortable. There's two parts. Him getting comfortable and evolve. He'll evolve as the year goes on, and then the other thing is, where do I get him minutes?
Right. Okay.
But like I've said to you guys, Tiger, Jaime, and even Amari at times have had to play fatigued. When you have to play tired players, your defense always takes a hit, and that's when you also turn the ball over. Got us against Illinois, got us in the second half against Stanford. And like you're starting to see, because I believe Will, Dylan, Abramo, David, that we can be a full court defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more we build on that, it's going to make us a much better team come March. Those guys being able to play quality minutes, and us to be able to get Tiger some rest, so we don't have fatigued players. The best teams I've had, you got to have enough depth to where you're not playing fatigued players. Now I'm talking about against when you're playing Illinois.
Right.
obviously had foul trouble in the first half, but he didn't pick up another foul, I don't think, when he came back in. Are there guys you can trust to kind of play through that? Or
Well, I
is it
thought I
just-
could trust Jaime until you whacked that guy for a second foul. I said, what were you doing? He said, going after the ball. You know, he gave me which was the correct answer. I said, right, but you had no chance to get it. You whacked the guy. What were you doing? He goes, going after the ball. Did you not know you had one foul and you're out the rest of the half? Like, I mean, there's fouls where, like, you know, you're playing D and somebody gets beat and the guy runs in. It's not your fault. You know, he could have made a much better decision right there. So it's, again, you know, we won the game, but he has to learn from that. That if I'm going to leave him out there with 15, 16 minutes left in the half, he can't just go. He got to make a better decision.
I know there's a little bit of a debate on whether or not you should take a guy out with 2 fouls or let him play through it or all that kind of stuff. What kind of is the genesis of your philosophy there?
Time and score situation is all different. You know, you're on the road and you know that I told him when we got down 4 or 5, I said, you know, you better get your mind right on it because you might have to go back in and play with 2. You know, I told him that during one of the timeouts. So it's all different. It depends. I mean, there's no need to risk it if you're winning. You know, but if you're on the road in a raucous environment, they're starting to go on a run. You can save him, but it'll be for the rematch. You know, there's a time to save them and there's a time to play them. It's, you know, so it's just so many other factors. Sound good, man?
Yep.
Thank you.
Why